The shimmering Texas heat danced above the cracked asphalt, blurring the already desolate landscape. Dust devils waltzed across the horizon, mimicking the restlessness that gnawed at Mark, a software engineer from Seattle on a photography tour of the American Southwest. He'd hoped for stunning sunsets and stark beauty, but so far, all he'd found was endless beige and a creeping sense of loneliness. He pulled his rented SUV to the side of the road, the engine ticking in the oppressive silence. He needed a break, maybe a shot of that quirky gas station he'd passed a few miles back. As he reached for the door, a flicker of movement caught his eye. Beyond the brittle scrub brush, near a crumbling cement foundation that was all that remained of some forgotten structure, he saw it, a figure, small and still. Cautiously, Mark approached. He found her huddled in the minimal shade, a girl who couldn't have been older than 16. Her clothes were ragged, coated in a thick layer of dust, and her eyes, wide and haunted, were the color of the desert sky before a storm. She was clutching a rusty tin can, her ribs painfully visible beneath her threadbare shirt. "Hey there," Mark said gently, kneeling down. "Are you okay? Are you lost?" She didn't answer, only stared at him with that unnerving intensity. He held out a water bottle from his cooler. "Here, take this. You must be thirsty." Hesitantly, she reached out, her fingers brushing his. Her grip was surprisingly strong. She gulped the water down, her Adam's apple bobbing in her thin neck. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice raw and hoarse. I haven't eaten in a while." Mark's heart clenched. He had granola bars and fruit in the car. He offered them to her, and she devoured them with a desperate hunger that pained him to witness. "What's your name?" he asked when she'd finished. "Sarah," she mumbled. "Sarah, where are your parents?" She flinched, and her eyes filled with tears. They left. A long time ago." Mark didn't press. He knew enough. Here was a girl, alone and abandoned in the middle of nowhere. He couldn't just leave her. "Look," he said, making a decision in that moment that would irrevocably alter his life. "I'm heading to El Paso. I can take you with me. We can get you some food, some clean clothes. We can figure something out." Sarah looked at him, searching his face for any sign of deception. After a long silence, she nodded. The journey to El Paso was mostly silent. Mark learned that Sarah had been living on the fringes, scavenging for food and trying to stay out of sight. He bought her new clothes, took her to a proper meal, and found her a small, clean motel room. He contacted social services, but the process was slow and bureaucratic. In the meantime, he found himself drawn to her resilience, her quiet strength that belied her fragile appearance. As she cleaned up, shedding the layers of grime and hardship, her natural beauty began to bloom. The haunted look in her eyes softened, replaced by a shy curiosity. The dust-covered girl transformed into a striking young woman with high cheekbones, a sun-kissed complexion, and a smile that could melt glaciers. Over the next few weeks, Mark found himself spending all his time with her. He showed her around El Paso, took her to movies, and listened to her stories. He learned about her dreams of becoming a writer, her love of poetry, and her surprisingly sharp wit. He'd intended to simply help her, but he found himself falling for her, captivated by her spirit and her vulnerability. He knew it was unconventional, their age difference significant, but he couldn't deny the connection they shared, the deep understanding that transcended their circumstances. He saw in her a kindred soul, a fighter who deserved a chance at happiness. One evening, as they sat on a park bench watching the sunset paint the sky in fiery hues, he took her hand. "Sarah," he said, his voice thick with emotion, "I know this might sound crazy, but I think I'm falling in love with you." She looked at him, her eyes shimmering with tears. I think I'm falling in love with you too, Mark." Their relationship blossomed, nurtured by mutual respect, admiration, and a shared desire for a brighter future. They navigated the complexities of their unconventional romance, facing criticism and judgment with unwavering resolve. They took things slowly, building a foundation of trust and understanding. 2 years later, under the vast Texas sky, surrounded by the friends they had made together, Mark and Sarah exchanged vows. Sarah, radiant in a simple white dress, looked at him with a love that mirrored his own. As he slipped the ring on her finger, he knew he had found something truly extraordinary. He had gone to the Texas desert searching for beauty, and he had found it in the most unexpected of places, in the heart of a lost girl who had, in turn, found him. The Dust Devils still danced on the horizon, but now, they seemed to be celebrating their love, a testament to the enduring power of kindness and the unexpected paths that life can take.
Subscribe to see more stories.